having been born and raised in Rochester, a block and a half from the clinic, I was very well acquainted with the clinic. And so as a kid, we went to the clinic and so forth. When I grew up and went away, I never had a physical exam after that, except in the Army. So I finally decided, everybody's supposed to have a physical exam when you get to be so old, I guess. So I'd been up there a couple of times in the last 20 years, but first thing I know, 11 years had gone by and I had a physical. Well, I didn't have any particular reason, so I called them up and said I'd like to get a physical exam, and so I'd like to have the works. Well, that was a mistake, because when they said the works, they gave me the works. So we went up there. We figured that we'd be up there a couple of days, and so we only took enough underwear for 2 days. We got up there. We found out that they had a schedule for not only the rest of the week, but even on to the next week. We did all kinds of consultation. Wonderful people up there. These guys, every place we went, we never met any more nicer people. That's the truth. The desk, they're very helpful, and we'd go in and they'd ask us questions, and we'd take tests and so forth. But we had time in between the tests, But when we walked past your, what do you call that, an Atrium? Is that what?
Atrium.
Atrium. Walked past, we saw this beautiful Bosendorfer piano, yeah. And a sign on there, it says, if anybody'd like to play it, play it. So I went up there, I touched the key, and oh boy, that was a marvelous sounding instrument. So we just tickled a little bit. Boy, that was great. So then from that point on, every time we had a break, we'd get out and play, just play a little bit. And then we'd go back up and have our exams and so forth. So as the week went on, we kept playing a little bit more, and people would come up and say, gee, they'd smile, they'd say, gee, this is fun. It's nice to hear some music that you could sing to. And so some people would ask us if we could play this or that. And one fellow in particular was really, he came up there, he said, do you know how great thou art? I said, yeah, what can you want it in? So the last thing we played was this little YouTube thing that you see. And so apparently Jody Hume was in the audience, and so she took a picture of it on something. She says she came up and asked us. She probably did. There were so many people around, we didn't know who it was. And so then she took that thing, and the next thing we knew, how did we find out about that?
Well, she said she put it on YouTube,
We
and then
didn't-
we didn't know that, but then Jacob.
Oh yeah, my associate over in the bell shop, he came over, he says, hey, you know what, he had this little thing in his hand, he said, we saw you on YouTube. You saw us on what? And there it was. He had a copy of this thing. And so that's how we first found out about it.
We just do entertaining shows for nursing homes or hospitals or
Retirement homes.
churches, retirement homes.
Old people, yeah. Young people.
And our shows include all the different kinds of bells that we have. We have to take a lot of equipment along with us, and it takes us quite a while to set up. We're getting older, it's a little heavier to carry. The bells get heavier, not us, but they get weaker. And on a Salvation Army, it's just that he gets all these bells out and does different, the sleigh bells and the organ chimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically. And so people enjoy that, and they like to come by and put money, and have the little kids put money in the bucket so they can.
Yeah, we get a lot more money for the Salvation Army playing our bells than we do ringing their little bells. That's the idea anyway. It's pretty simple as far as we're concerned. God gave us talents, and the purpose of these talents is we're supposed to use them. I mean, we happen to have a talent in music and humor, and so you put them together, and whatever we could do that will make life more enjoyable for others, why we'll do it. But as we do it, we're constantly feeling we're praising the Lord. That's the reason we're doing this. It tells us in the good book that you praise the Lord by bells and cymbals or
Joyful noise.
Make a joyful noise. So that's basically what we're here for, and that's what we've been doing all our life, one way or another.